being in the national team is it. It's a one-way street. It's
Yeah.
either you're in or you're out. It's very, very healthy. I love seeing our shuttles getting paid. They are worth every penny. It goes back to us, traditional media, new media, to educate. I think that is the role nowadays, because for a journalist to show emotions on screen is very frowned upon. My earliest memories of them were being told no on a constant basis. Going back to the World Championship, when I first met you, I thought it was very fantastic to have a content creator be accredited to be in the World Championship, which I thought was very progressive of the of BWF. I even bought a racket because of your review.
Yeah. I will clip that. That needs to go up on the teasers.
I want to trust no one else than your reviews. I thought that we could have gone home with 3 or 4 medals. So
we did have 3. Aaron won, Week won, Zija won.
Yeah. Sure, people think that he's arrogant, which is totally the opposite. I think.
Hey guys, we're back with another episode of the Average Not Average podcast. Today we have a guest called Ahmed Shahrazad Sani. He's a famous, well, in my opinion, one of the biggest badminton journalists in the whole of Malaysia. Obviously, we're missing one half of our Average Not Average podcast host, Victor. Welcome, Ahmed, before we jump into the next things.
It's an honor, a huge honor to be on the Average Not Average podcast. I'm a fan of the podcast as well. So me being here, it's I have to pinch myself.
No. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you giving us time. We're all in different time zones at this very point. So you're in Malaysia. I'm based in the UK. And Victor would have really loved to join. He's currently in Dubai. Obviously, we always try and film as early as possible, as much as possible we can. So this episode is going to be released on the Saturday of the World Championships, because we publish episodes every fortnightly on a Saturday. However, this is because Victor had conflicting schedules, and the news just came out from his side, and he needs time, and so we will give him time. He will come back. He will be back whenever he's ready. I think I also just want to take this opportunity to say to everyone, really, and like, we all have different things going on with our lives, and we need to be kind to everyone, really. Like, just check in, just care about people, just be a bit kind, and then it's okay. Like, things will get better, and so on. So we miss Victor. We think about him, and so he'll be back when he's ready. So but today, Ahmed, or more lovingly known as Bangmed. I think for everyone that isn't aware, Bang is Abang, short for Abang. Abang in Bahasa Malaysia is brother. And then Med is obviously shortened from Ahmed. So, brother Ahmed, welcome. I mean, how did the name come around?
I think because I'm very active on Twitter or X these days. And I am of age that people should call me Abang. I'm that old. I think it's a term of endearment among the community of badminton lovers in Malaysia. I can recall the person who first called me. He's a badminton fan as well. So I think it caught on, and it has since become a term of endearment, and I embrace that name.
Yeah. Will you be offended if it ever gets upgraded to Pa? And so Pa Med?
I think it's a natural order of things, but it will take a decade until it reaches Ahmed. I am a father though, so I got going for me.
So you could be Park. I think for all the English listeners out there, Park is uncle and Bang is brother. So that can upgrade from brother to uncle. That will come with a natural progression, I guess. But then Bangmed sounds absolutely lovely, and it's super easy for everyone to actually call you that. And we see a nice trophy behind. So you are an award-winning journalist. Tell us a little bit more about that very, very impressive trophy behind you.
That little guy back there?
It's not little.
It's like the Pulitzer Prize for Malaysian journalism. As soon as I know the word journalism, I always wanted to win the Pulitzer Prize, until I know that it's only exclusive for the United States. So in Malaysia, the next best thing after Pulitzer Prize is the Malaysia Press Institute / Petronas Prize or award. So, I mean, the MPI Petronas Award was first organized or held in the mid 90s. So, it's hard for sports to win. I think, to the best of my knowledge, sports media have never won an MPI Petronas Award
So you're the
until,
first one.
yeah, I think I'm the first one. And usually it goes out to the general desk, politics, crime, special investigative journalism. So for sports to win it, it's a huge honor, not only to myself, but I think to the entire sports media fraternity, because it shows that sports can give a huge impact.
Yeah, it means a lot to a lot of people. I think from my opinion, obviously I'm Malaysian. I grew up in Malaysia. I came to the UK, when I was 18, 19 at that point. But sports, in my opinion, growing up, you can go to the mamak shops, you can go to the nasi kandar shops, sit and watch football, badminton, anywhere you want, and then you can just have your friends around you, and then that really transcends ages, transcends demographics, transcends age groups. So I personally think it's such a powerful tool. But your award was for the best live coverage on the news. And so I'm assuming that's from the Paris 2024 batch of interviews that you did with Team Malaysia, especially with Zijia as well.
Yeah, it was for the live cross, to be exact, and to enter or to nominate your story is not free. You have to pay a certain fee for it, and you have to be not only accredited via your organization, but through the ministry as well. So I had to really think hard on which live cross that I wanted to submit. Yeah, because each and every cross I did during the Paris Olympics, it had a certain story to it. For example, Peliotina, how they became the first women's men's doubles from Malaysia to almost win a medal at the Olympics, or Chia and So, that amazing comeback to win or to defend their bronze medal. But I settled for the live cross with Lee Zijia because to me it's a complete story of his journey when he decided to turn independent and to have that moment with him at the end of the medal ceremony. So I think that was a story of its own. I mean, as a journalist, you're not supposed to be a part of the story, but I mean, I think it's fate. It's fate that the story turned out that way, and it's just the message that I wanted to send with support. I mean, with a change of culture on how we treat our athletes, you can achieve amazing things. Because for Malaysian, we won that elusive gold medal. We've had a certain way of treating our athletes, or showing a certain type of support. But with a different thing, I think we can achieve that. I mean, we're on the right track. And
100%.
As you can see, during the Paris Olympics, through my style of journalism, I think the impact is different when you have a lot of support as opposed to being very critical.
I think. I mean, me standing here and talking about media. I think in the world media for a general fan, there's multiple layers to it. So for example, yours is in my opinion, the professional way, the proper way. You are accredited with journalistic organizations. You go through proper channels. You're with the host broadcaster, for example, with Astro. So Astro is a huge broadcaster in Malaysia. They buy all the rights to the Olympic Games, in badminton terms, all the BWF sanctioned World Tour events. And so you are through the official channels in many ways. You are available and actually qualified and accredited to be there. On the other side, you have people like me who are not really trained in journalism, but still producing content, covering badminton in many different ways. And I think you are correct. Like, I think there's a space for badminton to grow, for content creators like us, to cover that from a different perspective, and we see things slightly differently. But I do agree that you are right. Asian badminton fans are quite tribal. Like, really, I think a better word for maybe would be quite hardcore. Like, I think it comes from the passion from the game, but it's extremely hardcore, where, you know, winning, well, in essentially losing is not an option in many ways. Losing is not an
you're
option.
either first or you're last. I mean, you're right. You're right in saying that it's a bit tribal because pre Tokyo Olympics, you've had the fans who grew up with the '92 Thomas Cup winning squad, and of course the fantastic legend who is Datuk Lee Chong Wei. So they grew up during that era, and then I've noticed that during and after the Tokyo Olympics, there's a new set of fans who, I mean, during COVID, who've never watched sports before,
Certainly all online.
Yeah, who have never watched Malaysian shuttlers before, so they knew this current of new batch of shuttlers. I mean, besides Zijia, Aaron and Woi, and then you have Peli and Tina, Tangjia, Iwei. So you had a new fan base who is very different in how they see things and how they think. And so you had these two sets of fans who are at each other in how they support their athletes. So to me, I understand how the previous way of thinking was, but on the other hand, I resonate with the new way of thinking because it does not only reflect the fans, it reflects the current generation of shuttlers as well, because they are very, very different than how their predecessors are.
Yep. And I think so on this podcast, Victor and I, we talk a lot about individualizing what you need, because like you said, everybody's different. Like everyone has a different style of play, different style of behavior as well, and different style of operation. You know, for example, even on social media, like how people portray themselves are very, very different. And I think we're all uniquely us in many ways. And yeah, like, because I think a one size fits all system, I don't think is as effective as it's thought to be, no matter what you're doing. And so whilst I think we grew up in an education system where everyone has to do the same thing, but sometimes to specialize in a certain thing, for example, say badminton, you need to have special attention on certain things. And yeah, I think everybody should be uniquely their own, and then we should, I mean, there's no one way to achieve success. There's many ways to achieve success. And so absolutely, I think it's important to do that. But then, so I wanted to talk about one more thing from your perspective, because you speak to a lot of Malaysian, all the badminton stakeholders. We now have an extremely strong private, independent players plus the national team. From my opinion, I think they push each other a lot, and I think that's great. I love seeing that so many independent players, professional players, and the national team players who are also professional players, push them side by side, and then the country in big team tournaments, like say Sudirman Cup, Thomas Cup, they then get to pick and choose the best players. What are your thoughts?
I think it's fantastic, because when I first broke into sports journalism or being around the badminton squad, being in the national team it's a one-way street. It's either you're in or you're out. So during the past 15 years, I've seen how Malaysian badminton evolved. Being an independent before, it's very, very tough, especially in terms of securing your sponsorship and getting funding to play the whole calendar year. That is why, we've had high profile national shuttlers turn independent players. The Rio silver medalists, Chan Mek Soon and Go Yishun Tan Wee Kiong, but it never really caught on until Lee Zijia decided to turn pro, because I think he was not at the height of his career, but because he's being seen as the next one after Datuk Lee Chong Wei, and he decided to turn independent. So I think that needed to happen, because it shows that our shuttler, they have their own way of thinking, and they have their own value in terms of securing sponsorship. And after that, you see it can grow side by side. I think it's a natural thing that needed to happen for Malaysian shuttlers, because now you see it, when you say that pushing each other is not only on the court. Not only in terms of badminton. I see it pushing in terms of commercialization as well.
100%.
Yeah, you see that um, our national shuttlers inside BM, they are also being pursued by uh, sponsors outside
Of
of BM
course.
system. Yeah, so it's very very healthy. I love seeing our shuttles getting paid. They are worth every penny because you see when they
Hmm.
go out for tournaments and competing for the big titles, they always deliver to the
Hmm.
best of their abilities. So I think it needed to happen. It needed to happen, and kudos to the former president of BM, Tan Sri Nurza Zakaria. I mean, he's a very vocal figure.
Hmm.
Uh, he was very instrumental in allowing independent shuttlers to grow because there was this one ruling at one time when you turn independent, you can't play in the now it's Super 500 and above.
Yep.
You
The
can't
top
play
end of
for
the world tour.
yeah, you
Yep.
can't play for a certain period until you've served your, I think, a
Gardening
penalty.
leave. Gardening
Yeah,
leave.
yeah. He abolished that. So
Yep.
he abolished that. So I think that ruling allowed independent shuttlers to grow. But it's still a struggle for independent shuttlers who are not seen as the top players in
Mm.
the tour.
Yep.
But I think it needed to happen and it's very, very healthy. I mean, it's fantastic for Malaysian badminton. And I think if we have club structures, professional club structures
Yep.
in the near future, that would make our ecosystem that much more fantastic.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, in terms of club structure in Europe here, like in Western Europe, there's plenty of professional clubs, and they play professional leagues as well, which is also another option for players to make a decent living. In terms of traveling, I think previously in some of our episodes with Victor, he mentioned that, for example, he spends around $200,000 a year just on travel, and so I think the average fan do not realize how much travel and accommodation really eats into your budget. Like, so if you, I mean, our team travel to events, we know how expensive it is to, like just to be out there. Like, plane tickets, hotels are a real killer. And then depending on where you go, food costs or, yeah, general expenses can be very, very high. But yeah, like Victor's mentioned, he spends around $200,000 a year just on travel and
Yeah,
accommodation,
and
whilst
it
some
yeah,
with family, but still, it's still a huge amount.
and it's crazy because, like you said, the average fan, they don't factor in the insane amount of cost to travel to compete. The end
Yeah.
result they see is the
Menang atau
exit.
kalah, win or lose.
The exit from the tournament. I
Yeah.
mean, no athlete in the world would like to travel halfway around
Lose
the world, spend hundreds of thousands, and
for one match.
yeah, for one match. Yeah, yeah.
Nobody ever wants to do that.
So
And
it's
then
crazy, but yeah, it goes back to us. I mean, traditional media, new media to educate. I think that is the role nowadays because now you have social media. Back then, you only have newspapers.
mm,
So the role of informing has now been cut down to social media. So I think our role now is to educate on how much it takes to be on the podium on Sunday.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And then also like not there's no single right way to do it. There's many different ways. And I think we should celebrate that many different ways. In my opinion, in a most simple form, it should be Malaysia versus other countries in the world of badminton, not Malaysia internally. Like leave that, go Malaysia against the rest of the world, and then enjoy that process. Because yeah, and celebrate every success, and then share the tough loss. Because from my experience being in the mixed zone, sometimes after players losing on court, and then you go, oh, I feel that because I play the game myself, and sometimes when I play in matches where I shouldn't be losing, and then I come off of 3 sets, like 22-20 in the third. And so if someone shoves a mic in front of my face saying, "Hey, why'd you lose?" I go, "Well, because it was
Yeah.
crap. I didn't want to lose." So I think it's very difficult for the average fan to actually really appreciate how tough and how challenging it is. And I think we need to, like you said, educate, take this opportunity to also educate people and say, yeah, we're all humans. Sometimes we have bad days. It's okay. It's what you do after the bad days that actually counts, isn't it? So yeah. So I enjoy that. But then, so from your perspective, because you have had a podcast show called Bangmed Show, the Bangmed Show on Astro Arena, and you have had some huge headliners. You know, like on my list here, you know, you have Tan Mun Hyung, Woon Ki Wei, Muhammad Hassan, Zakri Abdul Latif, Dato Rashid Siddiq, Vivian Hu, Hafiz Hashim, Sarah Amar, and you have season 2 that just started. Give me some highlights from your journey on Bangmed Show.
I mean, it's a blessing to have the Bangmed Show because I think in Malaysia, there's never been a badminton centric show before, and I've been championing not necessarily myself, but Astro to have a badminton show ever since I did reporting on badminton because I think there's a huge following of badminton fan. I know football is the number one sport in Malaysia, but there's a following of badminton as well. So we had that talk to finally do the show after the Paris Olympics when I came back. So they asked me, because I'm basically semi-retired from reporting, I wasn't supposed to go to Paris, but yeah, it's fate. So what do you want to do now? So
then did you go, what is your budget?
So the number one thing on top of my list was, of course, to have a badminton centric show, but I did not want to do a preview, review, analytical badminton show. Even though we have the rights to the tournaments, we could easily have done that. I mean, but there are a lot of platforms out there who talk and analyze badminton. So again, I went back to my strength, which is telling stories, because that is the form of journalism that I love, that I fall in love with. So yeah, I mean, the first season, it was a trial run. We wanted to see did it have legs to entertain, to inform, to educate, and continue to tell stories. And luckily it did. So it got renewed to season 2 this year. I think we started season 2
11th of August, no?
I think we started earlier, but I think it started April.
Okay.
Yeah, April. Yeah, I think we're on the 10th episode of season 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. So luckily, most of DM shuttlers I have the honor of calling friends. Yeah. We have a lot of demand of having the newer batch of shuttlers on the show, but because I think most of the fans have forgotten stories of past icons and legends. That is my personal mission statement on the Bangmed Show. I mean, obviously, down the road, if you're lucky enough to have season 3 or season 4, which in my head, I want it to go up until the LA Olympics, we'll have the newer batch of shuttlers. But there's a lot of stories to tell.
100%.
Yeah, even myself, I think I've forgotten more than I remember about covering the Malaysian badminton team. So to have personalities like Dato Rashid Siddiq, we have Woon Ki Wei, Tan Mun Hyung, Koo Kiat Kiat.
Yes.
I mean, when I first broke into the scene, I mean, reporting for Malaysian badminton, of course, I first reported during the era of when Dato Lee Chong Wei was Dato Sri Lee Chong Wei now.
Now, yes, I was going to say.
Yeah, at the height of his career, and you had Tan Mun Hyung and Koo Kiat Kiat. They were not fond of new reporters being in their face every day, carrying the microphone or the tape recorder. So I mean, my earliest memories of them were being told no on a constant basis when I wanted to interview them. It's all in good spirits now, but younger is very, very tough to get them even to ask a few questions. But I would say that I'm very lucky to have the Bangmed Show, and I hope that the fans have enjoyed listening to their stories. I mean, it's a blessing to have a badminton show, and I hope it inspires other channels or other content creators to have badminton platform of their own, because nowadays it's very the shutters are very approachable in that sense, and if you're able to build a relationship, it's not impossible to have your own The Average Not Average podcast in the future.
Well, one half of our host is not here, but yeah, like you said, it is we're trying to do what we can. Because I think we agree that actually content, like media content nowadays, are consumed very, very differently. I'm not sure about, say, in Malaysia, but like TV consumption numbers in the UK is going down, whereas digital new media consumption on mobile devices is going up significantly. And so for them to be able to catch on to stories, for example, here we're making our own story here and trying to tell the Bangmed story. And I think, without bumping into each other, it's actually quite difficult to tell that story. And I agree, like shuttlers nowadays, badminton players nowadays, they're more approachable, like especially the ones that are already online. I think that it's easier for them to actually go, hey, this is we call that earned media, because when you get on someone else's show, they already have a viewership, which sometimes is outside of your reach, and then you help them get that way. But I think I want to go back a little bit. You mentioned that at the start, it's incredibly difficult to get interviews and stuff like that. And then the resilience that you have, put through over the last decade allowed you this, because you have then continued to build your track record. And now people cannot wait to come on your show, right? And so I think this is also another lesson for everyone, like just starting out. No matter what you do, you need to prove that you can do a good job before people allow you that opportunity to do it, because you can't just pop out from nowhere and says, hey, I want to do this. And then they go, well, show me you can do it. Otherwise, I can't let you on. But then, that resilience and the perseverance that you showed over the last 10, 15 years to be, now you have your own show and you have earned that. And so you should be very, very proud of that process and, trailblazing Malaysian badminton journalism.
Yeah, one of my proudest moment is actually, Victor is not here, but hopefully he'll catch this episode, was during COVID, because our hands were tied, but we still needed news. So, I don't know how, but I managed to get Victor's email. So imagining email someone in the year 2021. And then he responded.
Of course.
He responded. So it was very kind of him. So I stated my intention that I wanted to interview international athlete outside of Malaysia on how they were dealing with COVID and training and all. And we communicated. And then I got him on, I think it's either FaceTime or Skype. I think I got the interview with him. I think it was for 3 or 4 minutes. And I was very, very proud of myself. And I think it shows that resilience. It shows that the amount of work that you put in, you yourself. I just want to say that it's not easy, because we've handled a lot of rejection early in our careers. Being told no, the hours of waiting.
Even now.
Towards building that relationship and persevere. I want fans who want to be closer to the game to just be patient, to not only work hard, but to, like you said, to build relationship. I think that is the most important thing, and not be disheartened when people say no to you. Because it's part of the process. And when you mentioned the highlight of the Bangmed Show, I have to say the set of the Bangmed Show is very personalized, because I sat down with the graphic designer who had the brilliant idea to say, what were your favorite moments in the past 15 years or before from badminton. So you've had photos of myself and the shuttlers, photos of the significant achievement in Malaysian badminton. And if you can see the set, there's 2 jerseys and 2 rackets. One of the jerseys is from the Rio Olympic team. I got it from one of the coaches. Believe it or not, I was I'm a reserved kind of person, so I was very shy to even ask a photo with them before. Now that I'm older, that I am more inclined to ask for memories, because
look at the basket.
Because you can say that you have that memory inside of you, but when you can show it, it's a different thing. So when you have the Rio Olympic shuttlers who came in, we had Vivian and Kawe. So exclusively now on your show, the next episode is going to be Goluing. the goddess of world badminton, and Mami.
Amazing.
So to have their signatures on the jersey, and to have that memory of looking back, this was us 2016, this is us now. So that is the highlight, I mean, of the Bangmed Show.
I'm sure sometimes it's also difficult because I'm sure you go like, we're professionals here. I want to be a professional. You don't want to be like, asking for selfies, asking for signatures, asking for autographs. But at the same time, we're all humans, right? Yeah. It's the emotion that you share during that process. Like the Olympics is the pinnacle of any sporting career. It's a lot of pressure, like a lot of pressure on the broadcasters, a lot of pressures on the journalists, a lot of pressure on the athletes, a lot of pressure on the whole team, right? Like your team needs to also deliver, and so you want to stay ultra professional, but also at the same time you're also a human and you're supporting them, and then you have it. We all have emotions, right? And so I think I relate to a little bit of that. I also don't ask for many shirts at all. Actually, I have.
I think it's a no-no. Right?
Yeah, it's actually a no-no. And so you shouldn't, and you can't ask for them. So I mean, actually, let's go back to when we first met. So we first met in 2023 World Championships in Copenhagen. So World Championships is actually coming up whilst we're recording this. And so it's almost 2 years. It's almost 2 years since we last met. And I was actually told off, because, Tai Ziying, she handed me a shirt in the mix zone, which she said that she was going to give me it from the All England, I believe. And then she very kindly brought it. She asked if I was coming to the World Championships, and I said yes. And then she just handed it to me there and there. It was such a lovely gesture. I did not expect it. And then I got told off to say you cannot do that. And then so that's how we have to learn. And also, like you said, handling rejection. Yeah, like it's going to happen. But then people sometimes say no because they have their own reasons. And it's very important for us to understand why that is a no. But then going back to Copenhagen, like we met for the first time, and then on my list here actually, so I also have Bang Azri, Bang Bob, and Bang Wan, all from Astro. Do you still work with them?
Yeah, they are very much involved with the news team. They travel a lot still. They do news coverage every day. I rarely meet them now, but during the 12 years of doing everyday reporting, those are the cameramen who I work with every day. In fact, I'm very proud to say that they are award-winning cameramen as well, because the amount of visuals that they put in and the amount of time that they spend with us journalists in Astro. So as much as what you see on screen,
there's a lot more off screen.
Yeah, there's a lot more off screen. Yeah, and the award that I won, the MPI Petronas Award, I shared that with Abang Nizam as well, who was with me in Copenhagen. So it's important for me to credit them. Because people rarely think about the person behind the camera. So I still work with them. And going back to the World Championship, when I first met you, I thought it was very fantastic to have a content creator be accredited to be in the World Championship, which I thought was very progressive of the of BWF.
I wasn't the first one actually. I wasn't the first one. I think
you were the first well-known to be there because. Before, I mean, YouTubers or TikTokers, we've had bloggers were part of the
they're still there actually
media coverage. But to have the new wave of digital personalities to be there, I thought was very fantastic, and it was great seeing you from the World Championship growing in terms of your coverage. I think you travel a lot more than I do now.
I actually don't know. I'm not sure. But then like last year I did 36 flights, which was quite a lot.
I think you've got me beaten there. And going back to the World Championship, it was my last time traveling to a badminton tournament outside of the Paris Olympics.
Because the next big tournament, you were on the screen with the robot that was moving around, right?
Again, so very kind of BWF. I think it was during the Denmark Open. So the GoBots, so they were kind enough to offer me the opportunity to do remote interviews. Yeah, again, I'm a lucky boy.
I think we're both very, very lucky boys. Because like you said, I think of all the all the flack that BWF gets, they actually have to cover such a wide range of remit, and like you said, they are progressive in ways that they can operate, because it's a huge organization sometimes, and it's actually quite difficult to get decisions done because there's so many layers, and because of how the member association structure operates, you have to give priority to host broadcasters. You guys are paying to be there, whereas say us non-rights holders, it's a learning process. You have to then build your credibility, you have to then build your track record, you have to showcase that you can actually do the job before you earn your spot on the mix zone, but yeah, that was my very first World Championships. That was actually also the first tournament that I went after leaving my old job. So I guess then I was unemployed. I was like unemployed, like going all in into media, and then that was the first tournament that I went. That was the first time I went on FOP as well. It took me 2 years and a bit before I was allowed onto FOP.
When and how did you decide to leave your existing career and go in full time?
Well, I think it was a combination of a few things. So because my wife, so she's a lawyer, and so we're based in Leeds, and so we moved at that same time. And my old job, like the contract renewal was up. There was an offer of extension, but I was like, you know what? I want to do this now. It's a risk, of course. It's a risk, like going out on a new business on your own, just to begin with, And I thought we had a chat, like me and my wife. We sat down. My mum and dad was very, very sure I was doing it. They knew I was doing it before I knew I was doing it. And then my wife and we talked, and then we go, you know what? Let's do this. Let's give it a year. If it doesn't turn out, I can always go back, I can always go back to full-time job. And now this is full-time job. We're 2 years in. And so this is now life for me. She says I work more hours, but I'm a lot happier.
Yeah. As a friend, we're very thankful that you took that leap of faith, and
it was a risky one.
Yeah, because you turned out a lot of quality contents. I mean, I even bought a racket because of your review. Yeah.
I will clip that. That needs to go up on the teasers.
I wanted to get the Gen 1 Ryuga.
Yes.
Yeah. I could have easily asked a close friend of mine, but I really wanted to get the racket on my own. And
yes,
I trust no one else than your review. So after hearing your review, and when you did that comparison between the Gen 1 and Gen 2 Ryuga, I know that was the racket I wanted.
Yeah, the Gen 1 is a very, very unique piece of equipment. Yeah, and it looks amazing. I love the design of that.
Yeah, it still looks amazing to this day. Yeah.
I'm
going to have orange. A friend find it. Yeah.
Yes. Well, yes. We will be talking about that friend soon. But yeah, it's just, I think it came from love of the sport. Yeah. So I started late into the sport. So whilst growing up in Malaysia, obviously I watched Dato' Lee, Dato' Lee Chong Wei, and then all the players, Tan Boon Hyung, Koo Kian Kiat, watching them growing up. But I never really played. I never played. It was after I came to the UK at university, I started playing, and then just completely went nuts, completely fell in love with the sport. And then I was always one of the nerdy ones that always goes onto forums, look at all the stats and stuff like that. And then so that's kind of how it came about. And then so when COVID hit, I was like, you know what, why not? Why not? Like, since now we have some extra time on our hands, let's make some videos. Now I look at those videos and go, it's cringy, but I could say it's a step-by-step process. And then, I was very lucky to get into the All England, again, via Yonex, very kindly. And then met BWF. And then from there, they're really, really supportive. Like, there's a lot of organizations who are really supportive if you show you can do good work. And so, I mean, I think for me, this is one more thing that I want to say to badminton fans or just young people out in general. There's no set way to become involved in badminton, Like, I mean, there's two of us here coming from very, very different directions.
You're playing the sport. I can't even play the sport properly to save my life.
I mean, I'm just an amateur. I enjoy the sport. But then, yeah, like you're a proper journalist. I'm more content creator based thing, digital marketing side. And then you have Victor, who is a professional player, like really dedicated his life to playing, achieving incredible things. So there's many different ways. And then, for example, you have like Bang Nizam, Bang Azri, Bang Bob. There's still the camera operators or producers, but still involved with the sport. I think so. To young people around us, don't worry that you can only be a player. Otherwise, you can't be involved with the sport. There's a lot of roles within the sport that you can still make a good living out of it.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, like I mean, Copenhagen was a very, very cool. It was a very expensive week. I have to say.
Yeah. Thank God I have Astro.
Well, from my side, it was I think just the hotel for that week alone was more than 10,000 ringgit. Just the hotel, and I was in the very, very cheap one next to the arena, and not in the official hotels. Like if I were in the official hotels, wow, I think that would have easily doubled.
Copenhagen is very expensive. I think I took a taxi ride. It cost me 300 ringgit.
Yes,
which was about 10-minute ride.
Oh yes,
Crazy.
yes. Yeah. Well, because on the Sunday morning, on the finals day morning, I took a taxi from the arena area to Copenhagen Badminton Club, which is where I think Peter Gator coaches as well. So he has a center there. And I was having a filming session with Howard Chu from the USA, and that was 400 kroners. So 400 kroners is about 50 pounds. 50 pounds is about 300? Yeah, 300, 350. That's one way. So both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
beautiful city though.
But I love Copenhagen. Like absolutely. I love Copenhagen. Like riding a bike there is absolutely amazing. Like, they go very fast, but you can get anywhere with a bike, and the public transport is super easy. Pastries are amazing. Pastries are actually absolutely incredible. So you said that you don't travel to tournaments anymore, and are you more based at home because of obviously family? You've got a young family. Is that like a decision that you've made? Look, after Copenhagen, I'm done.
It's actually before Copenhagen. It's after the Tokyo Olympics. So Astro Arena, Astro Sports. We've had a how would you say a shuffle. Or reorganization of all the sports channels under one roof. So basically, after the Tokyo Olympics, I was offered the post to do studio shows, a lot more than reporting. To tell you the truth, I think it came in at the right time, because reporting, being a full-time journalist, is very stressful. I think I was a one bad day away from a heart attack or a stroke, because you work with deadline, and when you miss a big story, you're gonna get it from your editor-in-chief and producers. So I think I couldn't handle that stress anymore.
But you've done like 12 years of it by that point.
A decision which later I regret, because I miss reporting a lot. I miss reporting to this day. So when you're close to Olympic season, there's a short list of who should go, because they need to do registration, accreditation.
A year in advance as well.
Yeah, so even though I wasn't doing full-time reporting, I was in that shortlist. Copenhagen was sort of a refresher, so they wanted to see if I still got it.
Okay.
So thank God, I think I can still do a good job at it. So that was a year before the Paris Olympics. Yes. And then right before the Paris Olympics, I had, I wouldn't say a change of heart, but I think that because there was a lot of uncertainty in terms of moving forward. So I basically told Astro Arena that I wanted to take things in a different direction personally. I wanted to do general news, believe it or not. But then one thing led to another. I got the call to go to Paris. So everything, it's all history now. So
Fate,
yeah. You can plan to do things a certain way, but it always end up to what you're supposed to do. And I thank God every day, because if I hadn't gone through the journey that I've chosen, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
True, very true. And then, so were you only covering badminton in Paris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they gave me a lot of freedom, and they knew my strength was in badminton.
Hmm.
So, and my team leader there, Zuhaimi Zanazam, they told me, Ahmed, you just focus on badminton. Let
Nice.
us worry about the other things or the other sports from Malaysian contingent. But
Okay.
after badminton, there was a few days left of us being there. So I got the opportunity to cover diving and cycling as well. But that was always the plan that they had for me to
Mm.
focus on badminton.
Yep. And then it was also very good that Zija, Aaron, and Wiyik all go very, very deep into the tournament onto the last
Yeah.
days, right? So that's actually good from
Yeah,
that perspective.
because yeah, people always ask me, can they win it? Can they do it? And I always told them, you're asking the wrong person, because the answer for me will always be yes. Yeah, but there was a certain feeling before the Paris Olympics. I just had a strong feeling that Malaysia would come home with medals.
Mm.
That was even before the first day that I stepped onto
Inside the arena.
Parisian soil. Yeah, because
Yeah.
looking at their journey and the hardship that they went through, and uh, I thought that we could have gone home with 3 or 4 medals. To be honest with you,
Mm. I mean,
so
we did have three. Aaron won, Week one, Zija won.
yeah,
I
fantastic
will
win.
count every single medal
Yeah, fantastic way
individually.
and looking at it. I mean, my wife is gonna kill me for telling this story, but when Aaron and we were 16 and 20 down during that second set, she told me not to be disheartened. It's okay, it's okay. I think that's it. They've given their best. I wanted to throw away my mobile phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
that
yeah.
epic
Comeback.
comeback
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I was live streaming. So I was
Yeah.
literally here in this office here. So I was on my iPad. I think I was having the games on, and then I was live streaming onto YouTube, like just commentating and seeing what happened. Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting goosebumps just thinking about
Yeah.
it again. Yeah,
Crazy
because
match.
it's such a I think the Olympics is a completely different beast. I think if Victor was here, he'll be able to tell you how he felt, you know, like how disciplined he was to be able to control the emotions. But in saying that, talking about emotions, I remember seeing your emotions coming out during interviewing Zija. Zija, he himself is a very from my experiences of talking to him, working with him, he's a very sensitive person. He's a very, very sensitive person. And that I meant that's a great thing to have, because he's always kind with his time. Like, he never, in my opinion, he's never turned down an interview with me or talking to me ever. And similarly, Victor as well. Like, you know, they will go, yep, let's do it. And you had emotions coming out because you clearly care about. I mean, I'm just getting goosebumps again. But you clearly care about this and so much. You're like, would you be able to take us a little bit back, you know, to what genuinely you were feelings, like your feelings about the whole thing, if you can?
Yeah, I mean, going back. I mean, for a properly rated journalist, or for a journalist to show emotions on screen, is very frowned upon. And it's nothing new to me. I was told off during the Rio Olympics, even when Datuk Sri Lee Chong Wei had that epic match against Linda in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think I shed a few tears back then. Some can appreciate the emotion, but going into Paris, I treated that Olympic as my last ever Olympics, or my last proper assignment as a sports journalist for Astro Arena. And I always wore my heart on my sleeve. So it was having gone through the process of being shortlisted, not knowing if you're going or not. I mean, telling your superiors it's okay. I'm done with everything, and being finally at the Olympics. It was
A
an
proper
honor.
roller coaster.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotion for myself. And I told myself, whatever it is, I'm going to leave it all out on the court. Every single thing, every single emotion, every single experience, every single hard work that I put through during the past 14, 15 years. I mean, I don't care of what other people are going to think about it. It was very genuine. I mean, every emotion that you see, every interaction, it was 100%,
human.
yeah, it was pure from the heart. Going back to that interaction with Zija, I mean, because I've been with him ever since he he broke out onto the national team during that 2016 World
Mm.
Junior Championship. So I knew him back then. I knew his sister Li Ziyi even before that.
Mm-hmm.
So being that journey with him from age 17, 18 to that Paris Olympics, and seeing every hardship that he had to go through, all the harsh criticism, the you know every single narrative or story that has been thrown around his name.
Yep.
So to see him rise up from that disappointment of losing that semifinals to Kun Lavut, I
Mm.
know his only mission was to win the gold medal,
Mm.
and to see him come back from going a set down and being down in the second game,
Yep.
it's not about him just winning that medal for the country. It's about him himself. I mean, being able to
Yeah.
motivate himself,
Overcome hardships,
yeah,
like
overcome all the
champions
hardship.
rise, right?
Yeah, and saying that I won that Olympic medal because, um, to me, I see greatness in him. I know that there's a world championship or an Olympic gold medal in him. That is why I invest so much belief in it, and just to see him conquering that final hurdle of believing in himself, I think that is
Mm.
what is most proud for me to see. I think that is where the emotion came in. Just so proud, of
Yeah.
him.
I think so. I mean, my face is getting goosebumps actually, which is weird. Yeah, because I saw that there was one clip of him, after the podium ceremony, like he handed you the medal, and I think he said something like we did it or something like that. And then so yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm
man,
just thinking about it, like it's just coming through my head right now, and
yeah,
like as a badminton fan, as Malaysian, like really incredibly proud of, and also like when Aaron and Week retained the medal again, that was also like yeah, it's such a big, like we should celebrate more of something like
yeah.
this. I think also if Victor was here, I'm not sure if you're actually aware. If Victor was here, he would also be able to tell you. During the Olympics, he also had emotions coming out during the interview. So the national TV the national Danish TV is it's TV2, Denmark
TV2, yeah.
TV2. Yeah, TV2 was there, and then Jakob was interviewing Victor, and then at some point, yeah, like the emotions came out. Like I think for us sitting here, we're in a very privileged position because sometimes we have a much deeper access or much deeper insight into how the athletes are preparing day to day. Like we see them go through the challenges day to day, like injuries, mental side of things, everything. And then we see the stuff that social media throws at them. And it's incredibly difficult, and we often forget that we're all humans as well, and it impacts us all. I think me being online, like, of course I get like hater comments, but I sometimes, weirdly enough, enjoy getting hater comments because sometimes I know that at least I'm doing the right thing. But then when you read too much into it, it affects you. Like it affects your mood, it affects your day, and so I think people need to be a bit more kind. I think we all love the sport. We that's why we're here, for the sport. But it's incredibly difficult, like on a day-to-day basis, like the amount of traveling. I mean, you understand it firsthand, right? The amount of traveling, the amount of challenges they have to go through, and then everything else that they have to handle, and then still put up a nice professional front when you're on camera. Yeah, so it's a very challenging one, and yeah. But then, so I mean, we haven't had much news of Zija. Can we actually tap into your knowledge? So, from him being a junior to now being, in my opinion, top of the elite players, what is the biggest growth you see in him? I mean, not just physically. I mean, the guy is absolutely massive, incredibly strong. What is the biggest differentiator from when he was a junior player? Because he had a very unique style as well when he was a junior player. Now coming to, he's clearly top 5 elite player in the world. What is the biggest change?
I think mentality. People have this misconception. People think that he's arrogant, which is totally the opposite. I think Uh, he had a lot
He's
of
just him.
yeah. He's just him. He just wants to play badminton, and his time away from the court or from training is very sacred. So you have to
Mm.
respect that. But during his younger days, I think from the media practitioners here in Malaysia, I think when you approach him for an interview, he would rarely say no.
Yeah.
He was always open to do interviews. And
Yep.
even if you WhatsApp him or if you give him a call, I mean, he would entertain the interviews.
Yep.
That was what he did during he was younger. But as he grew older, I think he knows better how to
Manage that process.
manage that process because like you said, social media is a very harsh place to be in. So sometimes all his interviews are being dissected and being
Without context.
mistranslated, being
Yeah.
put out of context. So he knows better how to manage it. I think it's just fantastic to see him grow from that teenager to now. I think he's an adult now. I still see him as a younger brother, but he's done a lot of maturing during the years I've known him from 2016 till now.
Yeah.
I would say mentally, I think people have that misconception of him being arrogant. He knows he's very savvy of what's happening around him. He knows what people are saying about him, but he's very strong in not being too much affected by it. I mean, at the end of the day, we are all humans. Emotionally, it might sting a bit, but he knows what he wants to achieve and what he wants to do.
Yep. For me, in the times that I've spoken to him, he has never turned down. He's never said no to me ever. There would be occurrences where I'm really sorry, I have to go cool down now. I'll stretch, but I'll come back, and he does. And so that's what sets players like him apart. Like him and Victor, when they say they come back, they do. A lot of players don't. And so it's in my position of being able to see a little bit more of him from the mix zone area. I think that's a great trait from that perspective. And I've always really enjoyed my conversations with him. It's funny, like the conversations I have with him. Oftentimes it started with equipment, and then after that it then goes into like
I saw that video as well. I think this is a lesson for younger journalists or young content creators who want to be in a position where you said the one word you use is privilege, to have the ability to speak to them. Just you have to understand, no is not something that is a harsh rejection. You just have to read the room. You just have to understand the situation, and because I used to think that being a reporter or journalist, you have that sense of entitlement that people will always come up and speak to you when you ask them to. So you have to throw that away, being entitled.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
It's a very two-way street. Social media has removed the barrier of, needing, for example, like traditional training and decades of experience to get to where you are. For example, like I have had no formal journalistic training. But then now, I guess, say 5 years, I'm able to then speak to you in on topics like this. And I think, like you said, reading the room is really important. And then no doesn't mean it's a no forever. No means at that point in time, that context, like, if they just come over 3 sets, losing 25-23, guys, just give him space, man. Just give him some space. Like he will come around. Like, yes, there are obligations, but still we make exceptions, right? So we're all humans, and when they said they'll do it, they'll do it. And so I actually have a Zija shirt here, that's hung up on my wall. Obviously you can't see that. But
I've seen that shit before, and you're luckier than I am because I don't have a single shit of him.
I think Z gave me that one from the. I think it was also Copenhagen. So I think I got 2 shirts from 23 Copenhagen. I think it was that one.
Do you have it signed, that jersey?
Yeah. So that one's a signed one. Very very kind of Zija and Z. Hopefully one day we can have him on the podcast as well, because I think him and Victor would have tons to talk about, and coming from completely different perspectives as well.
Just both of them on the screens.
If
and
they're happy
moderating in the middle.
Yeah, I will just ask the random questions
Yeah.
every now and then. But yeah, like I think it'll be amazing. I think we on our last episode, Victor and I we talked about Zija coming back on the World Championships. I think Victor mentioned that if Zija is in good physical condition, like he's a very very tricky player to play with. Like it's not
Yeah.
easy playing him, and I think it's a huge compliment coming from a player of
Victor,
Victor's
yeah.
status. Yeah.
Yeah, but just to share with you, I think Malaysians, badminton fans are excited to see him come back. I just had a brief conversation with him,
Hmm.
asking him about his training. I think he is at a point where he's building his physical strength. Mostly when I ask him, how's the training intensity like? It's very hard to reach 100% all the time, but he's in the
Of course.
range of 80 to 90% to 100.
Nice.
So I think that's good. He's traveling to Paris soon.
Hmm.
He's also had a new coach at the tail end of last year,
Yes.
from Wong Tat Ming to Yo Kei Bin. So
Yes.
I'm excited to see what are the changes implemented, because going back to that World Tour final, I think that was the best version of Lee Zijia, but it's excruciatingly frustrating to see him get injured,
Yes.
because I thought he would have won the entire tournament. Was such in form. So I think the fans need to be patient with what sort of Lee Zijia we're going to see at the World Championship, because he's just getting back to strength.
Yep.
So,
And
but
first
then again,
tournament back. Yeah. First
first
tournament back
tournament
is
back.
World Championships.
But all the headlines are referring to whether or not he'll be able to win the World Championship.
Yeah, I think we need to manage expectation here,
Yeah,
guys.
manage expectation. That's the
Yeah.
exact word.
Yeah, we have to manage expectations here. Like, I mean, I have more hope in men's doubles getting a medal, because there's three of them, three pairs in the top 10. I think so. That's a huge achievement in itself. And yeah, like I cannot wait to see. I mean, the draws are not easy. I mean, looking at every single category, the draws are not easy at all. And because the World Championships is one round longer than a traditional World Tour tournament,
Yeah.
and it's actually 2 days longer because it starts on a Monday. Yeah, like it's a different kind of tournament, and it's in the same hall in the Adidas Arena. So I think that will be incredibly slow because it's such a huge hall. But we will see. We will see. I haven't been, so I'm very excited to go.
When are you traveling to Paris?
Friday. So our team we're traveling in on Friday. As of recording today, today's a Wednesday, and so soon, very soon.
Yeah, it's a fantastic arena to be in with. Now there's nostalgia. It's just just kicked in. I mean, I'm remembering all the atmosphere over there. The European crowd is very different from traditional Asian badminton fans. It's
Yes.
like being at a football match.
Yes.
And you have if you have the opportunity to soak in the atmosphere during the home shuttlers when they're playing, you're
Yeah.
gonna have a fantastic memory.
Yeah, and actually, Team France is doing really, really well at the
Yeah.
moment. Like they have a very strong team, like in
Wow.
singles.
I can just imagine Alex Lanier feeding off the crowd.
Oh yeah, I think Alex, Thomas, and Christo, they're all doing really, really well. I think all three of them in the top 15. I mean, two of them in top 10, and Thomas, I believe, is 15th at the moment. But yeah, like so they're doing extremely well, and then they have chances in doubles as well. But I think are they playing Aaron and Week first? I can't remember in terms of men's doubles. But it's very cool. One last one before we finish off. Tell me about Med's Ayam Gulung. So for English speaking for English speaking guys and girls, Bangmed here is an entrepreneur, and you know he's also into his food. Ayam Gulung. How do we best explain Ayam Gulung? It's like the best chicken there is.
It's actually a direct translation of chicken roll. So it's a family recipe. I've had it since I was young. So I wanted to share a favorite pastime snack with Malaysian. So it's not made with a popiah skin or from bread. It's actually from a handmade crepe. And then you have that special chicken filling in it.
Okay.
So I have a frozen packages of it. So I'll happily send it to you or to Victor.
We're interested in trying.
If we can air, if you can air post it. But if not, both of
We'll
you
be back in Malaysia.
have to come back during the Malaysia Open and bring hotly fried ayam gulung to you.
Okay, yeah, because I was doing a little bit of research and I just came across that. Wait, what? Ayam gulung?
Yeah.
Because are you going to be like the next Chef Cairo? The super
Who
super
knows? Who
popular.
knows? I mean, before I took up journalism, I wanted to take up food culinary, but my late grandmother wouldn't just allow it. I
She has
think,
standards.
yeah, I would have made a great chef. I'm sure of it.
Still not too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, perhaps, who knows? I'm still young. Before I get to PubMed, maybe I could explore that. Yeah, on top of badminton, on top of journalism, I just love cooking. I consume a lot of cooking shows and cooking contents.
Yeah, Chef
so-
Med. I think we have your next. We have your next handle name done. Chef Med.
Yeah, it has a nice ring to it. The Med Chef, who knows?
Yeah, oh yes, the Med Chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, Med Chef.
Maybe, yeah.
No, I think that's it for us. This is like 1 hour in. Thank you so much for making time. Really, really appreciate you coming online. And thank you so much for sharing your stories. Like, obviously, Victor cannot be with us today, but we will 100% try and get you on next time around. Obviously, we haven't talked about Shoulder Hard as well. And also, obviously, if one day, if ZJ can come on with you, also perfect. We look forward to seeing you. Well, I don't know when I'm going to see you ever, but hopefully sometime in Malaysia. Like, hopefully I'll be back for Malaysia Open next year.
Come back, datang balik. Malaysia
Datang balik.
visits you, yeah.
Yeah,
And maybe I'll have both of you and Victor as well on the Bangmed Show. Who knows? We could do this. Yeah,
we could do a
near
double
future.
episode recording. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, the Average Not Average podcast X the Bangmed Show would be it'd be awesome. Yeah,
yeah. Well, the Average
Maybe
Not Average
maybe-
podcast.
yeah. Maybe I'll bring that friend of mine as well.
Yes. The Average Not Average podcast started in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Episode 0 is recorded in Malaysia. The Average Not Average podcast is started in Kuala Lumpur, in KL, in Malaysia. So we have Malaysian roots here.
Yeah, you've never been to Astro before, right, CK?
No, I've seen the
Yeah.
back of it.
Maybe you'll come on to the Bangmed Show set as well.
Well, yeah, because it's literally next door in the arena, right? Like, so I think the Tan Boon
Yeah,
Yong
it's
episode.
very close. It's a 10-minute walk.
Yeah. So I
It's
think
okay.
I know where
I'll
that
have the limousine and the
is.
chauffeur.
We don't need no
Come to the
limousine. No, thank you so much, Bangmed. I really appreciate it. And then
it's my pleasure. Yeah, I hope you yourself and the viewers of the podcast get something out of it.
Yeah, and then so this episode will go on live on a Saturday of the World Championships. So I think it's the semi-finals day. I believe it's the 30th or the 29th of August. I can't remember, but it'll be there. Thank you so much. We'll see you again. Jumpa lagi.
All right, it's an honor and a pleasure. Jumpa lagi.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll just stop recording. Stop.